What Hoover's agents did next verged on the criminal. Assistant Director Sullivan took his favorite tapes to the FBI's audio labs, where senior technician John Matter transferred the most incriminating parts to a single reel. A third agent, Lish Whitson, flew with the tape to Miami Beach and posted it from there to the King family home in Atlanta, together with an anonymous letter. FBI agents in Atlanta listened in to make sure the package had arrived safely.
Martin called and said, you better come over. I want you to hear something that Mr. Hoover has sent us. And so I went over the next day, and we sat down and listened to the tape. And we never listened to all of it because it became boring. But about 90% of it was inaudible. It was clear evidence of the extreme desperation of Mr. Hoover to destroy Martin. And Martin didn't tell me over the phone that there was a note accompanied that suggested he ought to take his own life.
Years later, a handwritten copy of that note was found in William Sullivan's desk at the FBI. Here is part of it.
King, look into your heart. You are no clergyman, and you know it. Like all frauds, your end is approaching. Lend your ear to the enclosure to your hideous abnormalities. There is only one thing left for you to do, and you know what it is. You have just 34 days in which to do it. You better take it before your filthy, abnormal, fraudulent self is bared to the nation.
When we read that, we were furious with Mr. Hoover. We had prayer, and then we laughed at him. How ignorant, how unaware they were of the depth of our commitment to the struggle. To think that kind of gossip and slander would drive Dr. King to take his own life.
It seems highly unlikely that Hoover ever told the president about this last-ditch effort to dispose of Dr. King. In any case, nothing as outrageous was ever tried again. But the bugging continued all through the Johnson years until the day King was murdered in 1968.
The FBI at the time was an institution was out of control. It was a lawless institution, from its own point of view even. And it was directed by a man who I think was truly demented.
The existence of the King surveillance tapes became public knowledge 3 years after Hoover's death in 1972. A court ruled their content be sealed until the year 2027. The existence of the Lyndon Johnson tapes was a well-kept secret until 5 years ago. Then, the first batch of altogether 600 hours of calls were released uncensored by his heirs. Johnson seems not to have cared whether publication would add luster to his reputation or damage it. But with only a quarter of the tapes in the public domain so far, it is clear that this will be the most complete record ever of an American presidency, and very probably the last of its kind.